It's quite early here, about 6:30. I just saw the white flowers moving in the wind. Cosmos, I think they're called, and other people call them a different name. So it's another day. Just tried a bit of meditation again, trying to get back into that. I wake up thinking of aspects of what's happened to Lucy Letby, and thinking of what things to do in terms of, I'm just going to carry on with the analysis of these different interviews. And there's other ideas as well. Yeah, there's other ideas as well. If anybody out there has any useful information, or especially documented information with regard to whether Dr Dewi Evans attended the 12th of May 2017 Welsh Paediatric Society spring meeting at the Rowton Hall Hotel in Chester, where two of the presenters were Dr Gibbs and Dr Jayaram. I'd really appreciate being sent anything that could be useful to confirm his attendance, if he indeed attended. I'll also put the email addresses up of what we understand presently to be the current legal defence team, which is the same as the original one, I believe. Haven't heard anything different. The email addresses are publicly available, so they're not private. You can just find them on Google, but I'll just put them there for the KC and the solicitor, in case you wanted to send that information directly to them. If you sent it to me, I would send it to them and also put it out publicly, depending on what it was. And the second thing is, if anybody has any information with regard to the email, again, it would be great to have a documented information, proof of the date that the email was sent by Dr Dewi Evans to the National Crime Agency at some point in May, is to find that crucial date, to establish the crucial date. I mean, no doubt the defence legal team already know it, but did it concern them? What is it a matter of concern? Might be something you can just move past if we see what it is, if it's the 18th or afterwards, 18th of May 2017 or afterwards. But again, I'll put my email address in the description bar. And if you want to anonymously send it to me, and then I'll put it out there if it shows proof, and then people can draw their own inferences as to how, if it is shown that he wrote that email before the 18th of May 2017 to the National Crime Agency, then people can draw their own inferences how he might have, in his words, read about police involvement, if it's the case that it was written prior to the 18th, or at a time on the 18th, in terms of the time before those newspaper reports came out. So we've got to include the 18th as well in terms of time. But yes, I would pass that on to the KC and the solicitor, and I would put it out there as well, depending on what it was, depending on the form it comes in. and respect the anonymity. I was wondering whether to put a telephone number there, but I don't know whether that's wise on the internet at the moment. My telephone number, I mean. It's not that I'm expecting that it's highly likely someone who works for the National Crime Agency or who attended that meeting and knows that has information to confirm that Dr. Dewi Evans attended. I'm not saying he did. It's to try to rule it out, actually, to see, did he attend? And if he did, if we can prove he did, that's got very potentially serious ramifications for him and the defence, particularly because of the date in the month, i.e. the police investigation is already ongoing at the Chester Hospital. Detective Hughes has already had his first interactions and interview with Dr. Breary and Dr. Jayaram. So yeah, I'll put my email address. I might not put the telephone number. Maybe if somebody contacted me by email with something interesting about either of those two matters, then I would consider being in touch with them by phone. But maybe it's best not to put a phone number on a YouTube video. This is totally pragmatic reasons to do this, that if there's any useful information out there that somebody wants to share, but they don't want to put their name to it, I'm happy to pass it on. Or, as I say, I'll put the email address of the solicitor and Ben Myers' email address, which you can find out there easily anyway. It's not private. It's publicly available on the website, so... But, you could send it directly to them as well, It's not that it's about getting it to them finally. But also, the reason to put it out, if there is some compelling information there, is to make sure that it doesn't disappear down a black hole, that it is known publicly. If it's known publicly that Dr. Dewi Evans could not have read about, as he said, could not have read about police involvement when he sent that email, wanting to insert himself into the investigation, then that's a problem for him and the prosecution to explain. I would hope at the appeal that they'd need to explain it, or else, but also it would lead to further investigations down that line in terms of his alleged impartiality and independence. Anyway, I think that's as much as I need to say about that. And so there are the flowers. Autumn's definitely here. It's my favourite time of year, autumn. Those flowers, I found the little plants in the sort of doorway of a church. They were being given away, They were quite small, but they produced so many white flowers over this few months. And the sunflowers are all drooping now and faded. I don't know if the birds are eating the seeds or... Anyway, all the best. Take care. Bye-bye.